Ritesh Bhavsar. Okay, I've done B in Aeronautical Engineering and I've done M.Tech in Mechanical Engineering from Motilal Nehru National Institute of Technology, Allahabad. Okay, so particularly we are starting with the subject called as engineering mechanics. Okay, so we are preparing for the GATE examination. Okay, so first of all, I just wanted to know from you people what you are, what is the mentality to prepare the GATE in your mind? Means what is your tactics? How you are preparing for the GATE? Because it's all India level examination, so you should have some tactics for that to prepare. How to prepare this GATE exams by regular practice and understanding of fundamentals. Okay, so fine. So now when actually I have prepared the GATE, so first of all I wanted to tell you that I have got a rank of all India rank. I have 45 in aerospace engineering. Okay, so I will share just my few experience with you people. So how I prepare for the GATE examination. Okay, so my funda is very basic. CAA. Now what does it stand for? CAA. CAA means what? So first of all, what means what? Concept. Okay, A stand for approach and another A stand for application. Okay, so now what does it mean by the concept, approach and application? Okay, so do you know how many numbers of the GATE examination? Obviously it's 100 marks. Okay, so out of 100, 20 are the aptitude and the rest of the 80s are what? Your pure technical questions you have. Okay, fine. So out of 80, there are around 20 numbers of question of single marks. Okay, and there are again 2 numbers of question. There are again some linked number of question. Okay, so most of the time you have observed the 1 number question, that first 20 questions they are asked for the single number, that are the straightforward. That means they are the concept oriented. So let us say suppose they have given some they are asking some from, let us say, machine design. So machine design, they are asking some problems about the ropes, clutches, brakes and all, about those things. Okay, or they can ask about the gear mechanism also. For this blah blah mechanism, which one will be the best, like spur gear, bevel gear or something, helical or another gear. Okay, so this kind of question they can ask you. Or like for mathematics questions, so they will ask you some limit is 2x tends to 0 something, the function, then again some divided, and they will write some statement. It is true for this kind of homogeneous function or heterogeneous function, or the function means blah 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 option will be there. Okay, so those are really the concept oriented numericals, so those are really the concept oriented what we call as questions. Okay, now concept means what basically exactly? Okay, so basically we are starting with what? Mechanics. Okay, fine. So mechanics, as you know, there are two studies. We studied the 2 classification of the mechanics. First of all, the static one, and another is the dynamic one. Okay, so the static and dynamic. So static, let us say we have the truss problem. Okay, so truss problem, so that means when we can analyze our truss, when my truss is in what? Ideal state. Ideal state means what? M is equal to 2j minus 3. Okay, so this is the very basic questions. Or let us say we are asking about the fluid. So fluid, what they can ask us, like what is the assumptions in Euler function, Euler equation, or else they can ask you the kind of question from the boundary layer theory. Okay, so let us say boundary layer theory, they will give some functions like the shear stress in elemental layer this much, so what will be the boundary layer thickness? Okay, so now this can be easily calculated from tau is equal to which equation, that is von Karman momentum integral equation. So from that equation we can easily calculate what is the boundary layer thickness. So that means, so to answer this question you should know what is a von Karman momentum integral equation. Okay, now by the use of that equation from the given data you can calculate what is the boundary layer thickness. Okay, so these are the related questions they can ask directly, come for a statement. So that is, I classified this question as concept oriented questions. Now the next is what? Approach oriented. Approach oriented means what? Suppose they have given you some data, okay, and based on that data you have to think about it. Okay, you have to dive in that process. Dive in that process means you have to identify what is the given data, what to find. Okay, so once the problem is clear, we know this is the solution. Now you have to just make a chain of this. So that means this is my input, this is my output. You have to find the link between these 2 questions. Okay, now to finding the link between this input and output, so that is what we call as approach oriented questions. Okay, now the next is what? application oriented question. Now what does it mean by the application oriented questions? Okay, now there is one segment they have asked you the link question, correct? They will give you some data, okay, and based on the data they will ask you question number 1 and question number 2, correct? And if you observe this link question particularly problem, they have asked you the not some practical oriented questions, okay? Let us say if we go for the thermodynamics, they will ask you, suppose a jet engine they have given, okay? So jet engine means Brayton cycle example, okay? So let us say this is my jet engine, okay? Okay, so this is jet engine, we know here is a fan, then compressor, then combustion chamber, then turbine, and then nozzle. And ideally this Brayton cycle will be look like this, correct? So now they will ask you, what will be the turbine inlet temperature, okay? Then what will be the efficiency of the Brayton cycle? So this kind of question. Now we know my efficiency is obviously the function of turbine inlet temperature. So in the first question they will ask you, they will give you a data kind of this is the turbine inlet temperature, okay? And in the second question they may ask you, let us say the efficiency of the turbine is this much, okay? Efficiency of the turbine this much. Now accordingly we have to calculate what will be the exact temperature, what will be the efficiency of the compressor, and accordingly what is the pressure ratio, because you know the efficiency of the Brayton cycle is really depend on the pressure ratio, okay? So based on that they will ask you the first question and the second question, and the answer of the first question, answer of the second question will purely depend on the answer of the first question. That is morely important. So this is what they are asking in linked question, okay? So this is pretty much more important. So how you prepare? You prepare by this way. First of all, concept, approach, and application. So preparing the exam, fundamentals should be clear. Then sorry, then apart from that you have to make some revision, you have to go for the test, you have to go for the assignment. But keep in mind, whatever be the problems, whatever be the subject, whatever be the questions, they will ask you concept, approach, application. First you have to study the subject very comfortably, very thoroughly, very neatly. So that means your fundamentals should be correct. So that means this is a concept approach, concept oriented questions. Now the second one, approach, okay? So whatever you studied in the concept, like those formula, some kind of assumptions, some kind of derivations, okay? Now how we using those formula to solve our numerical, that is what we call as approach. And the next is what? Application. So application means what? We know in what is our mentality is fixed, like okay fine, this is a question, we are going for the university exam. If thermodynamics is the strength of material, I know Khurme, I know some Rajput, I know some 2-3 books from the VTO analog and all those etc books. We have fixed mentality, okay fine, those questions will be asked in this question. But for the gate they can ask the question from anywhere, they can ask some realistic problem also. So those I can tell this is an application, okay? If your concept is very clear, you can easily solve the approach kind of problems, okay? If these two are clear, concept and approach, concept plus approach, you can easily solve the application problem. So this is the basic funda, okay? And first of all, so you got it, what is my formula? CAA, concept, approach, and application. Now the next thing is you have some target in your mind, okay? So like how many questions you have to attempt, how many subjects you have to prepare very correct. I mean obviously you have to prepare all the subjects, but there is some specific subject you need to target more, because they can ask they are asking much more about that particular subject, okay? So some fixed criteria, some target you have in mind, okay? So first of all I got 45 ranks, okay? In 45 ranks actually I wrote gate from aerospace, okay? And I did my aeronautical engineering from Aeronautical Society of India.